You've been denied for Social Security disability. Now what? Hey folks, this is Annette of AnnetteLeonard.com coming at you with another episode of Chronic Wellness. Thanks for joining me. So you finally heard back. You girded your loins, you opened that letter, or you got someone else to open it for you, and you get the news that you've been denied. And I don't think anything can fully prepare you for how invalidating that is. You know you're unable to work. You have taken the time and put yourself in that vulnerable position of explaining why it is you can't work, and you've had your doctor submit all the documentation and grief. You're feeling grief and maybe anger, and you're crestfallen. And so take a few days to have your pity party and sit in that and really feel the weight and the emotion of it. That's understandable. And then pick yourself back up. So I'm going to include a link down below that has a really helpful infographic and explanation and breakdown of all the numbers of how disability applications and denials and appeals went in the year 2022. And that's where the bulk of my information is coming from. And I think it's so helpful. First of all, you need to understand whether or not your denial took place based on the foundational aspects of Social Security disability. Have you put in 5 years or more of working for an organization where you paid into Social Security disability? That's key. And do you meet the other eligibility requirements? Okay, so a bunch of people get sorted out on just that fact alone. So assuming you are not one of those, but you are the other group, which is a little bit more than half, then you want to think about course of action. You have a number of ways to keep coming back, and it eats up a lot of time and a lot of energy, but more than half of applicants make their way to Social Security disability on appeals. Now, mind your timelines, because there are some turnarounds, and usually it's about 60 days from denial to appeals. So you have to get back to them, even though they are going to take their sweet time getting back to you. And the very first step in that process is reconsideration, which essentially is just going back to your local Social Security Administration office to say, hey, will you take another look at my file and reconsider this decision? And so then a disability reviews claim specialist is going to take a look again, another person probably, because it was probably done federally the first time, I don't know, is going to take a look at that file and be like, is this person disabled? Do they meet the qualifications? And they are going to review your file. So that's step one. And if you are denied again, then you get to decide about step two. Step two is going before an administrative law judge. And most folks that I know have done this remotely. They're not actually going to a court. They're doing it from the comfort of their home. And the majority of people that I know who have been approved for disability have gotten it at this stage in the process. Now, maybe you're thinking, should I consider an attorney? And I think that's a fair question. And for those of you who aren't aware, you don't have to pay for an attorney out of pocket on the front end. So there are lots of attorneys who make their living filing disability claims for people. And so there's no shortage of ways to find them on the internet or on your phone. And they will take a look at your file. And if they think you have a good enough case, they'll take you on as a client. And then they will start gathering your documentation, submitting things to Social Security Administration on your behalf. They will join you in that case before an administrative judge. And if you are approved for Social Security disability, they will take their payment out of your lump sum that you have coming to you. So they'll take a percentage of your money, but usually you're not going to feel it so much because it's not going to be like an ongoing payment taken out of your ongoing payments. It's going to be out of that chunk that you would get at the very beginning, and it'll be gone before you even see it. So it's sort of like money you never had. So I do think that oftentimes having somebody help you navigate that process, having the peace of mind that this is someone who knows the system and can help you include keywords and phrases and bolster your argument, can be a comfort, a support, and really maybe make a stronger case when you are submitting. So it's worth considering, is what I'd say about hiring an attorney. If you get denied at this stage, there are still 2 more ways that you can continue to appeal. And of course, that means more and more time. I think in 2002, the mean, meaning some people took a lot more time and some people took less time, of getting approved at the administrative law level was 1.5 years. So we're not talking about a quick process or you getting your money anytime soon. And when we're talking about going without an income, many people face bankruptcy, insecure housing, not being able to pay your bills or buy food in this span of time. And so it's no joke to have to think about what other familial support, spouse support, other options you have during this time that you would be going presumably without an income while you're applying for this lengthy, tedious, difficult process. So check out the link below. Tell me about your experiences applying for Social Security disability. And I will have at least one more video on this topic coming up. So thanks for watching. If you are listening to this on an audio podcast, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and, more importantly, leave me a review. I've been at it a long time and a lot of people still can't find my podcast. And I know that these things are tied to reviews. So I'd be grateful for you to let others know about me out there. All right. Thanks so much for your time and attention. I'm so grateful for you. And until we're together again, be well.